Hello, friends. During the lockdown or any time in life, we may be losing track of time. We may be wanting to set our goals and priorities and our dreams, but we deviate from here and there. I'm going to introduce to you one of the world's leading time management experts, Robyn Pearce, who's on the screen with me. Hi, Robyn. How are you doing?
I'm great, thanks, Hemant. How are you?
Well, I'm good. And look, I heard you on a one radio interview a long time back and was hoping to connect. And I thought, how can your teachings and your experiences help my friends and my colleagues and my peers to do better? So, first of all, let's hear a little bit about yourself because I know you've got a story of your own.
Doesn't everybody have a story?
Yeah.
Well, my story has me being really bad at time management in the early days, for quite a few years, including when I was in real estate. And I was just always running around like a headless chook, um, uh, selling lots of houses back in those days and making good money. But the thing I did learn the hard way was that it's all very well to have the money, but if you haven't got the health as well, there's a problem. And so one day, in as I was complaining about lack of time to a friend, in some frustration, he said, "For goodness sakes, Robbie, go and get a decent diary." And that was how it all started for me. And now, somewhat over 30 years ago since that conversation, but almost 30 years as a business, I've actually, once I mastered my own problems, people started asking me for help. And here I am today chatting with you about time management.
Indeed, and we almost sometimes cannot say no because we fear of missing out or saying what happened if I lose my income or something. But certain times we have to have a bit of discipline, and that discipline is kind of only possible if they do some sort of a module like the one that we're going to talk about of yours, right?
Well, absolutely. The principles that I explain and then the practical applications of those principles are what I learned. And it just changed my life. I went from being a burnt out, exhausted mother of six, high performing, but really seriously exhausted real estate agent to now having an international career for the nearly 30 years and written 8 books about it. But yeah, those principles are really important to get a handle on, because otherwise it's like you're putting a band-aid on the problems. And if you haven't got the principles mastered, you'll go back into the old habits again.
Indeed. Well, once we got you online, we're going to go through your website and we're going to share this in our interview here to say what is it that you offer. So in terms of gettingagrip.com, that's an easy URL. And as you can see, you can read about Robyn and her work, testimonials, and also we will talk about the special segment, Getting a Grip on Planning and Prioritizing. It's a 4-part course, which also leads you to another link here, which is learndesk.us, and this link will be supplied after this interview. Now, Robyn, talking about planning and prioritizing, I guess it's important that people do this in their life, right?
Well, I absolutely agree. If we don't understand how to do the planning and prioritizing, we just always feel as if we're out of control. It's like the wheels are threatening to fall off, or sometimes they do fall off. And it's the foundation of good time management is understanding the why and understanding how to plan and prioritize effectively.
So let's describe some benefits that you experience or people can experience when they do these modules over the possibly the lockdown, or they can take their own time. What's involved? What's in it? How do they do it?
On that particular course?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as I've said, we do go into the principles first. So there's things like how to set easy goals, because if we don't link with what's really important to us, and we don't make sure that we block those things into our weekly, even monthly calendars, if we're not planning those things, they tend to be the things that miss out. Like, it's always easy to have lots of busyness going on, but if we're just being busy all the time, we're not automatically doing the most important thing. So there's a whole lot of really practical information, examples, there's videos, there's quizzes, there's a workbook, and we go, in fact, there's a workbook for each of the 4 modules that are in the program. And it will take somewhere between 1 to 2 hours, depending how much in depth you want to be with reflection and background reading and things like that. So it's quite a short amount of time to make a significant change in your life.
Well, look, I think it's a great investment because people should utilize their time, and while they've got time, whilst they want to get a grip on their things in their life. So just sharing the screen again to say Learn Disc, that's got the 4 modules in there, giving time to the things that really matter, etc., etc. Now, you go through this and it's got more details. But look, I would really encourage people to visit your main website as well, Getting a Grip, because here they can get subscribed to a free goodies page here as well. So if they click on that, they can register for that and also check out everything else that you've got to offer. And look, I think it's a great time for us to talk about this because, like myself, a lot of people who want to do things but always fail to prioritize or learn to say no, and then you've got this thing and saying, oh, I missed out or wish I could do better. And we can just improvise ourselves, right?
Oh, yes. And that saying no, I learned that the hard way, Hammond. It's saying no. There is a qualifier, not in a career limiting or a relationship limiting way. And sometimes and quite often in actual fact, it's saying no to ourselves because we're the ones that will go and try and squeeze that extra thing in. And from a real estate perspective, I remember I was just always wanting to go and deal with the next client because it was going to make me more money, and I wanted to make the people happy and all of those kind of things. But that's another whole conversation. It was just, I wasn't saying no to the things I should have said no to.
Yeah. And I guess, from every aspect of life, whether you are frontline worker or you supermarket worker or anything that we do, we have to set some priorities. A lot of people may, in this time when they have, either spend too much time on computers, too much time on television, not being with nature. So these things, if we can prioritize, I guess it will help us and help many people. Look, I'll encourage people to subscribe to this, like myself. Let's do it. Let's do a review on it. And I'm sure a lot of people watching this in any part of the world, whether in Australia, Fiji, or India, or America, you can still do this from there as well. And Robyn, I urge you to give us another tip, a special tip for those who are watching this.
Right. Yes, there's a nice little goodbye. One that I really love, and I've had so many people come up to me and say, oh, that made such a difference in my life, is get ready first. And sometimes you might go, now, what's she meaning by that? If we get ready for the day, if we've got, like I got ready for this meeting with you much earlier in the day. And so then I could carry on with other things, like I did a yoga class, and I've done emails, and I've done some writing, and I'm calmly ready for you. Whereas in the old days, I'd think, oh, I must rush and get everything else done first, and then I'll get ready for the meeting that I've next got. Well, wrong way round. What have you got there, Hammond?
That's what it's a bit blurry because the background's blurry, but I see it myself this morning. First thing I did, I made a whole lot of tasks.
Yes.
I'm going to tick on these things. Also have a little calendar thing to say what's my planning. This is also blurred out, but it's like one of these planners that you can have.
Good.
So you can do a whole lot of things, but as you said, being ready first helps. Yeah. And I'm sure those who do the module of yours online and write these things down and progress further, they can achieve the goals, have a balanced life. And I think it also helps our relationships because, as you said earlier, that we can say no to certain things, but are we saying no to certain things that we are missing out and our family is missing out because we are too much career driven or spending time on the computer or the mobile
or the television?
Exactly. And New Zealand's got so much to offer. You live in countryside, and people can explore the nature, get out there, and do a bit of exercise and jogging as well, and all that. Look, I really appreciate your time. This has been a great pleasure to. I haven't met you in person, but to do this video interview. Thank you for taking up the offer, and I'm sure those who watch this can manage their time better and improvise their life.
Thank you, Hemant. And it's been a delight to see you face to face after all our conversation over a long time now. So thank you very much, and all the best to your listeners.
Thank you very much. And we encourage people to view the link below. There's going to be the course link and also Robyn's website link. If you have any questions, you can also contact Robyn through these on her website link and ask her the questions directly. And I'm sure this will help you. Do give us a feedback. What do you think of it? And we'd love to hear from you after this. She is on Facebook and social media as well, so you can connect with her as well. Well, Robyn, thank you so much. Keep up the inspiring work and keep inspiring others and helping them to get better life.
Thank you very much, Hemant. All the best.